Hi, and welcome back. I've got a request today from Eliana, and they have requested a track by a band called Five Finger Death Punch, and it's called Wrong Side of Heaven. And Eliana has written, please can you do this specific video, the official one that writes stuff about war and veterans, and also the video itself is very powerful, and the lyrics, of course. I personally dedicate this song to my grandfather. He is alive and kicking, God bless him. He was a veteran in Cyprus, 1975. He was 22 years old, turned the tank upside down, and managed to take down an enemy warplane. I recently asked him what it was like to see his teammates go down, and he started crying, and I started crying with him. I recently found out he had nightmares for years, but he got over it. He is now 78 years old. He is my hero. So I've not heard this track before. I've not heard any Five Finger Death Punch before, but the information with the request sets the scene. So for added context, I served in the British Army from 2004 to 2017. And toward the end of that time, I transferred to what is called the Queen Alexandra Royal Army Nursing Corps, the QARINC, bit of a mouthful, with the intention of helping servicemen and servicewomen with their mental health. I had been on tour, I'd seen the impact that being on tour had on loads of people, some of them my friends. I also saw what impact losing people had on others. Again, having lost people that I knew and also seeing the impact on their families. And that's really where my journey of becoming a trauma specialist really started. Now, if you know my reactions, I don't play the video in full in one go. I'll have to do the same here. Fair use principles says that it can't be a substitute for the original. So what that means in practice is that if I play the video through in one go, then for all intents and purposes, that viewer has experienced the video in its entirety and may not need to go and watch the original. I shall respect fair use in this video, and equally I will respect the video itself and try to pause minimally. If you don't like that approach, then please just don't watch. This video isn't going to be for you. The ones that love you the most are the ones willing to fight for you. Yeah. Mm.
I spoke to God today, and she said that she's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
Okay, this feels like a natural break. So first of all, this is the first time that I've heard Five Finger Death Punch. I like it. It's heavy. It's raw. Straight away, it's got an important message, which is kind of what music is about for me. And I feel like this channel needs more of that. But that part, I mean, loads of it is standing out, and I'm identifying stuff with that. But that part with the soldier looking at the picture of his daughter, oh man, that's difficult. I would have really have struggled on tour if I had kids at home. That would have been a completely different experience for me. I mean, when I had my kids, that was when I started my journey of getting out, essentially. That was my reason for leaving. And I've got the lyrics here as well, and there's some which are really resonating with me. And I think the reason they're resonating with me so much now with a different perspective is that my view of the world and how it's run has changed completely since I served. So I spoke to the devil today and he swears he's not to blame. It's because the devil's not to blame. It's humans. It's humans that put us in these positions. It's humans who start these conflicts. It's humans who put things in place to try and end them. But arguably not for peace. It's for greed and it's for power. And these people who are putting soldiers in these positions, they're not the people having to pay the price. Arms wide open, I stand alone. It's like I'm here. I'm asking for help. I'm open. I'm open to help, please. But no one's listening. It's not coming. I'm no hero and I'm not made of stone. It's like I'm suffering here. I feel the consequences of what I've been through. I'm human. I'm not made of stone. I do have feelings. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I mean, you've got no idea how much this brings up for me. I'm still conflicted nearly 10 years after I left. I feel proud to have served. I feel proud to have put myself in a position to protect my country. But on the flip side of that, what did I really try and protect it from? I joined at 22 years old. I was relatively young. I was naive. I didn't know much about politics. I didn't know anything then about how society and the public are manipulated. I didn't know anything about the connection between the media and government. I had absolutely no idea. And I would be questioning things a lot more now, for sure. So to put this into timeline context, when I joined, we were Tony Blair, weapons of mass destruction time, just to kind of contextualize a bit. And I'm not saying that this is what these words mean to the songwriter. I'm saying this is what's coming up for me. So I'm not analyzing this, okay? And this is a reaction. This is what's coming up for me and my personal circumstances. Well, spoken loads there. I'm going to try not to speak anymore until the end if I can, although it looks like there's about 5 minutes left.
I heard from God today, and she sounded just like me. What have I done, and who have I become? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away, I turned away.
Oh, it's him with the daughter. Oh, it makes me choke up.
I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven,
Oh.
and the righteous side of hell.
Oh, it's in surf too. See what they do. Cuffs off.
Closer every day.
Treating him differently.
Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell.
Brings that home, doesn't it, when you see the actual stats? I think those are people. Okay, so if you're listening to this in the background, or you've got this on as audio only, because I know some people do listen to the channel like that, then just to let you know, there's currently a list of support services scrolling on the screen. Make a reminder to myself in this video for me to make this bit full screen for anyone to see, and to edit the video to make sure it's full screen, and also to, if there's none on here, to consider putting some links to UK resources too for people. I'm not sure if this will be mostly American based. So we'll let this play out. There's a lot of services trying to do some good. So, thoughts about this? So that homeless veteran holding the picture of his child when the child stops, who tries to give him the flowers and gets pulled away. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Absolutely heartbreaking. And this theme of, what's the lyric? The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. I mean, this again takes me back to that idea of being conflicted. Are you doing the right thing? Because that's really what you signed up for. Are you doing the right thing with the right rationale? Are you doing it for the right reason? Are you doing it for the wrong reason, but it's still what you feel the right thing? Or are you doing it just because you've been told it's the right thing to do? I mean, it's really complicated, isn't it? It's the impact that this has on you and your loved ones is massive. And that internal battle of, was it the right thing? And actually, if I've decided that maybe it wasn't, am I now trying to find reasons to explain why I did it, why I potentially did a wrong thing? You get caught up in your head, you go round and round in circles, and there probably isn't any real answer to that, and it just drives you mad. So we have the impact of this thought process. There's these ethical dilemmas, But then you've got the impact of war itself. Some, as we saw in the video, some get physically wounded, some people are mentally wounded, some are both. And one thing that I learned in my time serving is that even for the fit and well, transition from military life to civilian life is damn hard. And I've got no idea how post discharge transition works in the US, but these stats that I've just read seem alarmingly high to me. I could see how they compare with the British Army. We could get into the detail of what's going on and why, but look, these are real people at the end of the day. I don't want it to look like they are being reduced to statistics. And the fact is, it's multifactored, it's multi-layered. There's loads of processes going on. But we have a good idea of what those factors are. And quite simply, there needs to be more investment, more support, more compassion, more human connection. And the argument that there's not enough cash, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. There's money being spent on things that don't need spending on, or being spent on to line corporations and politicians' pockets. We all know that. And it's really interesting that the opening line to that video, just have a quick look again, was the ones that love you the most are the ones willing to fight for you. The way they have that at the beginning, that's really, really clever. Because we saw that in the video, didn't we? The policeman with the tattoo, the guys meeting up again near the end of the video and reconnecting. Brothers in arms. And it's a clear, and on the flip side of that, there's a clear sign of who isn't doing that and what they think of you. So this channel used to be called Therapist Reacts. I changed it because I wanted it to be more about connection and sharing experiences. So if this video or this track did connect with you, or if my reaction has connected with you in some way, then please feel free to share in the comments. I think that's all I've got to say for this one. A very, very important song. Great that they've put that out there. They've used their platform to communicate this. So thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. Take care. Goodbye.